you. Majestic, impressive, hypnotic, the Andes mountain range rises before our eyes. Travel companions, do you want to come with us on this road that connects Argentina with Chile? We'll spend 2 nights in a cabin in Uspallata at the base of these mountains. And I promise you that what we will see will be simply wonderful. This is the last Mendoza video. If you missed the first two, they're linked in the description. But let's start from the beginning. In the first video, we spent 2 nights in Mendoza, and in the second, we spent a night in Uco Valley visiting its wineries. Today, we start the day in Tupungato, and we'll begin the journey to Uspallata by taking routes 82 and 7. We would take the route to Uspallata slowly, enjoying the scenery on one hand, and on the other, being cautious because it's a road with a lot of truck traffic. Because of how close Chile is, many trucks carrying goods from Argentina and Brazil travel on this road. The plan for that first day was to only get as far as Uspallata, stay overnight, and the next day start the route from Uspallata to cross the border into Chile to see the Caracoles, the winding mountain road. Later, we'll talk about the border crossing, the delay, and our reason for doing it just for the day, even though we knew it meant losing a lot of time. But first things first. Potrerillos was waiting for us. On the way, the Cachuta Bridge and the hot springs. We took Route 82, and before reaching Potrerillos, we found the Cachuta Hot Springs and the suspension bridge. These hot springs sit in the mountains less than an hour from Mendoza, and the first thing you notice is the scenery. Mountains, river, fresh air. The water comes straight from the mountain, hot and full of minerals. The Cachuta Suspension Bridge was inaugurated in 1952 to connect the Trans-Andean train station with the workers' neighborhood across the river. Today, it's nearly 140 meters in length, still invite people to cross it, with the mountain landscape as a backdrop. But we continue on our route to the Potrerillos Reservoir. The 12-kilometer-long, nearly 3-kilometer-wide reservoir's turquoise waters reflect the Andean foothills. It really is very, very impressive to get here. The road suddenly reveals a dreamlike landscape with colors that seem to have been chosen perfectly. The village of Potrerillos was born as a summer retreat around rural estates and flourished after the construction of the dam, which regulated the Blanco and Mendoza rivers and generated hydroelectric power vital for the region. A lot of people come to this reservoir to enjoy the views, the tranquility, and to sit down and have some matey. Honestly, it's a beautiful place to relax. After enjoying these landscapes, we got back on the road with Uspallata as our destination for the first day. Now we would take Route 7, which we would continue on tomorrow as well. National Route 7 is one of the main highways in Argentina. It runs from Buenos Aires to the Chilean border. The section that connects Mendoza with Chile began to be built in the early years of the 20th century. Each kilometer on this route is a marvel. We were arriving at the tunnel area. This road is very picturesque. In 1910, the Trans-Andean Railway opened, using a tunnel in Las Cuevas to cross the Andes. This railway was fundamental in paving the way for the later construction of the vehicle route. Further along the route, after we pass Uspallata, we will start to see the remains of what used to be the tracks and tunnels of this train that is no longer in use. And we arrived at Uspallata, a small mountain town that serves as the gateway to the Andes mountain range. Surrounded by stunning landscapes, it's an ideal place to rest and explore nature in its purest state. Among its main attractions are the vaults of Uspallata. It was originally an 18th century mining complex built by the Jesuits. And the Seven Colors Hill, which offers unforgettable views. Cabins 5 kilometers from the center awaited us. This is the largest cabin. Although only 3 of us used it, it has 3 bedrooms and can accommodate 6 people. The other cabin has 1 bedroom and can accommodate 3 people. The prices per night and per cabin were $70 and $50, respectively. You have the option to add a simple breakfast that they bring to you in the morning, as well as buying firewood to light the heater. We stayed here for 2 nights. This is the small cabin. At night, we went to have dinner at one of the grills in Uspallata. We ate well. I'm leaving the receipt for that day. There were 5 of us. At dawn in Uspallata, if we thought it was beautiful in the afternoon, it now felt like a dream, with a tranquility that comes through the camera, a natural paradise. We hit the road. From Uspallata, we were going to take this high mountain route all the way to the border with Chile. Traveling along Route 7 from Uspallata to the border with Chile is an experience that combines majestic landscapes, history, and excitement. This highway links Argentina and Chile. It is often closed in winter due to heavy snowfall. Stopping at one of the points, such as Uspallata, is ideal to get information about when it opens so you can cross. We are doing it. The images you are seeing are from May, from the beginning of May, and there is no snow. But as winter approaches, like I said, there can be a lot of snowfall. Some sections can be closed off. The first time I did this trip was with my parents, in 1987, and in a motorhome, in a camper. It was May, I think maybe closer to the end of May, but the snowfall had already blocked the road, so we had to spend the night in Uspallata with the camper and wait to see if the pass would open the next day. The next day it opened when all the trucks started up to cross it, right then. We made the crossing ourselves. That immensity, white, was something I can't forget. Punta de Vacas was the first place we passed through until we reached Los Penitentes. Located 170 kilometers from Mendoza, Los Penitentes is a mountain destination where you can enjoy the scenery year-round. Its name comes from some curious rock formations, which, when seen from a certain distance, resemble a group of hooded monks walking. Here's an archive image so you can see what it's like with some snow. For decades, Los Penitentes was a famous ski resort in Argentina. Although the resort is currently closed to the public for traditional winter activities, the place still has its infrastructure and continues to be a point of interest for travelers like us who travel along Route 7. The next stop is a must-see on this route and on this journey through the mountains. About 25 kilometers from Los Penitentes is the Puente del Inca, a natural formation of rock and sulfur that forms a bridge over the Las Cuevas River, with thermal and mineral waters that give it that special color. There used to be a thermal hotel here at the beginning of the 20th century now, in ruins, but with a nostalgic charm. The hotel that used to operate here, of which we can see the remains, was destroyed by an avalanche, with only the church we see in the background being saved. This place is ideal for making a stop, taking photos, and visiting the small handicraft center. Many years ago, when I did this tour a few times, you could access what used to be that part of the Puente del Inca. There was no problem. You could walk over it, cross to the other side, and go see the remains of the buildings. Nowadays, I understand that for the preservation of the bridge, everything is fenced off and access is not allowed. You can do this high mountain tour from the city of Mendoza on a day trip if you don't have a car or don't want to drive. It's also an option to rent a car, so you have the freedom to stop whenever you want. It's a trip I recommend taking because it's simply wonderful. If you're going to drive, I want to tell you to be careful. It's a route, this route number 7, that's very busy because it's an international crossing. If you're enjoying the video, but especially if it's helping you, we encourage you to subscribe so you don't miss any of our travel guide videos. Also, give it a like and share it with friends who also like to plan their own itineraries. A few kilometers ahead is the provincial park, with its viewpoint that offers a unique view of Aconcagua, the highest peak in America. It is 6,962 meters tall. From here, you can take easy hikes to the Orcones Lagoon, with interpretive trails and majestic views of the Andean surroundings. The viewpoint is only 400 meters away and easy to reach. On the other hand, if you want to take the hiking trail, you will need to register at the station located at the beginning of the path. We first took this short walk to the viewpoint. And then we went to the parking lot where you leave your vehicle to start the trek. But that's it. We weren't going to do the trek. It was just to show you where the car is and to see if we could get a little closer to see what we could see. And then we continued on our way. Here we see the remains of the tracks from the old Andean train route I was telling you about. As you ascend toward the border, you reach the small village of Las Cuevas, Argentina's last point before the international tunnel. If the weather allows, you can go up to the Christ the Redeemer of the Andes, a 3,832-meter-high monument symbolizing peace between Argentina and Chile. The road is gravel and has sharp curves, but it offers spectacular views. We left it for the way back. Now we want to cross the border so we can go see the so-called Caracoles, the zigzag of this road to go down the mountain. What we did, which is what we're going to show you, is not what we advise you to do. We made the crossing so we could show you that stretch of curves. If your destination is one of the Chilean cities, you will go through there. But we went to see it and then came back. That's what I recommend to you. Don't cross the border just to go see the Caracoles and come back. Thank you! Why? Because we spent a lot of time at customs, and then only a short time in Chilean territory. We had already considered it, and our sole motivation was to film this. Personally, I had already been there, but only on my way to Santiago. The border is crossed through the Cristo Redentor tunnel, which connects both countries at 3,200 meters above sea level. The border control was slower than expected. I can't say if it's always like that, but it took us an hour and 40 minutes to get through. So take it easy if you're entering Chile. We hope that next time we'll have more time so we can plan to continue our journey in that beautiful country. Once inside Chilean territory and a few kilometers in, the legendary Caracoles stretch begins, a series of more than 20 sharp zigzag turns that descend steeply toward the Aconcagua Valley. From the top, you get unparalleled views of the route, and in winter, it's common to see trucks and vehicles moving slowly through the snow. After enjoying this marvel, we headed back toward the Argentine customs office. Another wait again. But this time, it was much faster. And now we were finally going to climb up to the Christ the Redeemer in the caves. Amid high-altitude landscapes and mountain winds, from the small town of Las Cuevas begins one of the most amazing stretches of the high mountains. The ascent to Christ, the Redeemer of the Andes, a historic and symbolic monument, located over 3,800 meters above sea level. The climb begins at a marked turnoff from National Route number 7, with a very impressive archway just before reaching the International Tunnel. The gravel road with many sharp curves ascends for about 9 kilometers through landscapes of bare rock, snow on the peaks depending on the season, and a deep silence broken only by the wind. This route is only open outside of the snow season, obviously, since in winter it is usually covered with snow and is impassable. At the top of the hill, at 3,832 meters, stands the statue of Christ, the Redeemer of the Andes, inaugurated in 1904 as a symbol of peace between Argentina and Chile after a long history of border tensions that were resolved at that time through diplomacy. The 7-meter-tall monument, mounted on a stone base, was carried piece by piece on muleback. Today, from that point, you have panoramic views. Before the construction of the Cristo Redentor Tunnel, which was inaugurated in 1980, the climb to the monument marked the official border between Argentina and Chile. The original road, known as the Bermejo Road, or also as the Inca Road, due to its proximity to ancient Andean trails, was used by travelers, muleteers, and armies since colonial times. For much of the 20th century, this road was the only passable route for vehicles in the summer, although it was difficult. That's why crossing the mountain range was an adventure that depended on the weather and the condition of the road. The modern tunnel made the pass quicker and more accessible, leaving the old road to Cristo for tourists only. Today, visiting Cristo feels like stepping back in time, retracing the path of those who crossed the mountains before asphalt, global positioning system, or powerful engines existed. In a way, it's like reliving a historic journey. On the Chilean side, the original road that led to Cristo Redentor descended toward the Aconcagua River Valley, connecting with the Juncal area and then with Route 60, which goes down to Los Caracoles. Currently, access is only available from the Argentine side, meaning you go up from Las Cuevas and return the same way. The old road that went down to Chile is no longer operational for regular traffic. The area is not maintained as a public road, but some people access it with off-road vehicles or motorcycles. After this beautiful experience, we went down and returned to our cabin in Uspallata. We had dinner at another city steakhouse. I'm also leaving here the receipt for what was the dinner for the 5 of us. As I said, this is our last video from Mendoza province. If you missed the other 2, I'll link them here.